It's one of our favorite times of the year. It's when the food and wine menus are announced for Walt Disney World Epcot's Food and Wine Festival for 2017.
It's that time of year again.
Yes. So stick around. We are going to go over what's new, what's returning, and all of the things that we're excited about. And I'll also cover the gluten-free items on the menu.
All right, we have good news and bad news. Might as well go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off now and do the bad news. So the bad news is we do have some booths not returning this year that were here last year. But they had to make room for the other ones.
A lot of booze.
Yeah, so first up we had the desserts and champagne booth is not going to be here, which is kind of surprising. I always saw a line
crowd.
there, yeah. And then Greenhouse Guru, there's no shocker there, really.
Isn't that
the one with the bag of tomatoes?
Yeah, I think they did have a bag of tomatoes. But I actually liked a couple of the dishes there. But it's okay. There's lots of new stuff.
Yeah. Poland, which probably people wouldn't miss, but I actually liked the little apple. It was a cocktail, but it's like mainly really it was an apple pie in a cup.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
And South Korea, I enjoyed the vegan
barbecue
from there, and that's sad.
And it
won't
looked
be there.
good.
That was really good. But that was it. The good news is lots of booths. So it's 35 booths for the 35th anniversary,
of
which
Epcot.
is awesome. Yeah, and also when I was going through the list, there's lots of new stuff, lots of new food and drinks. So yeah, I think it's going to be a really good year.
Yep, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I would say one more tiny bit of bad news. Once again, the gluten-free options are pretty limited, but I'm super grateful they have anything marked gluten-free because we go to other food festivals where it's really difficult to get that kind of information. So I'm very grateful that they publish what is gluten-free, and we'll cover all that as we go through.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and dive in.
Dive in.
So first booth up is Active Eats, which is new for this year. Kind of odd name, I think. I don't know.
Especially since the first thing on the list is the loaded mac and cheese. Like Active Eats.
Screams Active.
Yeah, that sounds like maybe food that would be healthy, or I don't know, that you might eat if you work out. So I don't know what that means exactly, but
especially when it has pepper, bacon, cheddar cheese, peppers, and green onions.
Yeah.
Eat that and go for a run. I don't know.
Maybe it's the night before food if you're going to run a marathon.
Now, the next one sounds kind of healthy.
Well, we've had that. They just switched what booth it's at.
Oh.
We've had this year after year. It's the roasted Verlasso salmon with quinoa salad and arugula chimichurri, and that's gluten-free. And last year, it was our festival favorite. We both said that on our video footage from last year, so that's very, very tasty. I'm not even a huge salmon fan. I don't mean that I dislike it. It's just not high on my list, and that is tasty.
Yeah. Because typically salmon can be dried out really quick when it's cooked in mass quantities.
Right. And the next item is sweet avocado crema with strawberries. So that sounds dessertish and definitely not gluten-free. Yeah, and we're not big dessert people.
Now, this first one's kind of weird. MIA Beer Company is the brewery, I guess, and it's hard water, cucumber, and lemon lime hard sparkling cider. Or sparkling water, excuse me.
That's different.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Doesn't sound like a beer. I don't know.
No, that sounds like a hard Sprite. You know, a lemon lime soda.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it's like those you see in the grocery store, like those Mike's Hard Lemonade, something like that. Oh, okay. It's probably something
That's
like
my
that.
guess.
And then I'll let you handle the wines.
Thanks for that. Neither of us speak French at all, so apologies. Chateau Saint Michelle Cold Creek Riesling. That's domestic. It's from Washington. And Evolution, I have no idea how to say that part.
By Sacol Blasser Pinot
Noir. Also, that looks domestic. So those are both domestic wine offerings. Neither of us are wine drinkers either, so we're not going to be the experts on that.
For that booth, for me, I'm looking forward to the salmon, I guess. I'll definitely try that.
And that's a repeat, but absolutely for me, that's the only thing at that booth for me. Now, you know, some of those hard beverages, like ciders in particular, can be gluten-free, but some of the other hard beverages can have malt, which is not gluten-free. So always double check before you assume when it comes to beverages.
So from that booth, the salmon is gluten. There's only one marked gluten free.
Yep.
Next up,
2017 Africa.
I just got the Toto song in my head.
And that is returning.
Yeah, we have a few new items.
They do have one returning item that is gluten-free. It's the Berber-style beef tenderloin tips with onions, jalapenos, tomato, and pap. And if you're not familiar, pap is sort of like grits. It's a corn meal. It pretty much is like grits. I had that the last 2 years. The first year, it was great. The second year, it lit me up. I mean, I couldn't even eat it. I had to throw some of it away. That was last year.
So that was the theme for last year.
Everything
if you watched
was
our videos
too
from last year,
hot.
everything was like really spicy, really hot.
Because he has high spice tolerance,
I do.
and he even said some of the stuff was way too spicy.
And then 2 new food items: spicy Ethiopian red lentil stew with vegan yogurt and quinoa. I probably will try it. I'm not a big fan of yogurt. I don't know. And the last one, spinach and paneer cheese pocket with mint.
That sounds good.
Raita? Raita? I don't know. R-A-I-T-A.
Good enough.
Raita. That actually sounds good. I'll
Yeah,
try
it does
that,
sound
definitely.
good. Those both actually sound good.
Beverages, we have a new, that's a wine, right? Ernie L's Big Easy Chardonnay, no. Chenin Blanc.
We're probably saying that wrong. Sorry about that. And I have Simon Sig Pinotage.
Yeah.
Jam Jar Sweet Shiraz.
And all those look like they're actually from Africa.
Yeah. So that's nice. Nice options, to try.
So for there, I'm looking forward to the spinach and paneer cheese pocket for me.
And I may give the Berber style beef a try again and see if it's too spicy. Yeah, I most likely will because I end up running out of things.
We got to report on it to
week,
see if it's hot again.
To see if it's back to being really hot. It stinks I can't hand it to him because he could probably eat it. But if you're new to us, he only eats seafood. He doesn't eat other meat. So
continuing our tour.
The Almond Orchard hosted by Blue Diamond Almond Breeze, and that is a new booth with a new host. I don't think I've seen them as a host.
I think they're repeated also. The Blue Diamond brand is repeated elsewhere in this menu, I think.
Oh, interesting. So the first item is banana almond sundae layered with fresh berries topped with dark chocolate and blueberry almonds. So you're going to see a lot of almonds in this stuff. So that's the only food item at that booth. And then for beverages, they have something I completely cannot pronounce, but it's a brut wine. And actually, these all look like maybe champagnes.
Yeah.
Because the next one's Dom Perignon, which we all know is champagne. Then Moet and Chandon Brut Rosé Imperial. And cold brew coffee with almond milk foam, which doesn't fit with the champagne. That's kind of a funny...
Well, they got to somehow get their product in there.
Stick the almond in there. And so next...
So I guess they were being a new host for this festival because usually, is it what's the cranberry bog?
Sometimes you see the cranberries and sometimes other things. They seem to get new ones sometimes.
So is there going to be like a Blue Diamond milk bog and they're all standing in this milk bath?
In the almond milk? I don't know about that.
Out in 100-degree heat?
That would smell nice.
All right, next up's Australia. So all the food is the same. We do have that grilled sweet and spicy bushberry shrimp, which was so hot last year.
That's another one that 2 years ago we loved, both of us. And then last year we both agreed it was way too hot. It was so hot I couldn't finish mine, and he finished his, but he said it was too hot for his taste.
I'm not going to leave shrimp behind.
And that one is gluten-free.
Grilled lamb T-bone and mint pesto and potato crunchies.
And I've had that. It's actually shockingly good, and it is gluten-free. It's tiny for the price. It's like 1 or 2 bites, but it's so good it's actually worth it.
And then for dessert, you got lamington, which is yellow cake dipped in chocolate and shredded coconut.
Which we haven't had because, again, we're not dessert people. We're not going to have a lot of expertise on desserts.
So for beverages, we do have 2 new beverages. Looks like they're both wines, right? Yeah. So returning is the Cooper's Brewery Original Pale Ale. I always get that every year. It's really good. It's a nice, if I remember correctly, light tasting beer. The new wines, Robert Oatley McLaren Vale Shiraz and Hope Estate Willamby Brook Semillon. I don't know.
I don't know either. Sorry, from Hunter Valley.
And from that booth, I guess I'm looking forward to the Bushberry shrimp.
For me, I would say probably the grilled lamb would be what I'm most looking forward to. The shrimp, if they were the heat level of 2 years ago, I would love, but
Well, I'll check it out first.
yeah, we'll let him be the is this too hot for
Now,
Carmen?
the Blue Diamond booth, the last one we just reviewed, we forgot to mention. We're looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to anything from that booth. It'll just
There's
be
nothing gluten free. Yeah, that's going to be a pass for us.
Belgium. Let's see. Everything is the same except for one liqueur. I guess that's a coffee cocktail, maybe. So for the food, we got the Belgian waffle with berry compote.
And whipped cream?
A beer braised beef served with smoked Gouda mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes sounds really good with the smoked Gouda.
All that sounds good. Since it's beer braised, it's not gluten free, so I can't try that.
And another Belgian waffle, this time with warm chocolate ganache and whipped cream.
Now, I don't think we've ever gotten those waffles, but people rave about them, so apparently they're pretty good. Again, not dessert people. And I can't eat anything here because it's all got gluten. This is another one that we usually breeze past except for the drink. Sometimes you stop for a drink. So I'll let you pronounce these since they're beers.
So the beers are all the same. Hoegaarden wit beer, Leffe Blonde, Belgian Pale Ale, and Stella Artois. Well, actually... Is that new? I don't know.
No, the hard cider's return.
Okay.
It was at least there 2 years ago. I can't remember if it was there last year, but it's definitely a return.
And then a new drink is the chilled coffee featuring Godiva chocolate liqueur.
If you're a coffee drinker, that sounds
tasty.
good. Yeah, that really does sound good.
From that booth, I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of anything at that booth.
Yeah, other than maybe the drinks.
I'm not really a big fan of the beers either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So next on the list, and I can't eat anything because it's all got gluten. Next on the list is Brazil, which is returning.
Brazil.
And this is, if you're gluten-free, this is your happy place because all the other booths at least have one or two other gluten-free items, so there's always that risk of cross-contamination. But Brazil, they have everything gluten-free, so you don't have as much of a concern. I'm not saying there's no risk, but it's pretty low at that booth. So this is one of my favorites. They have the layered meat pie with mashed yucca, and that is surprisingly good. It reminds me a lot of a shepherd's pie as far as the way it has the meat on the bottom and the yucca on the top. I will say in 2015, it was a lot more meat with a thinner layer of yucca. Last year, it was very, very little meat and sauce and a ton of yucca. So I liked it better the first year. It was balanced a lot better the first year. But that's one of my favorites. That's a go-to. It's like good comfort food. They also have the crispy pork belly with black beans, tomato, and onions, and that's also gluten-free. I only had that once in 2015. Did not like it at all. It was very jiggly. I don't think it was cooked properly. It was a little too squishy. There's no nice way to say it.
Okay, for the beverages at this booth, we do have two new drinks. The first one is MIA Beer Company Barbosa Black Beer. I wonder if that's after the pirate.
Probably.
And a new wine looks like Lidio Carraro Chardonnay, and then returning drink, a cocktail, frozen Caparina. Is that Caparina?
Yes, I believe so. And that's really tasty. I had that last year, and it's a little tart, a little sweet, but not too much of either. I found it refreshing, like a light, refreshing frozen drink.
So what I'm looking forward to from that booth is the only thing I can really get, which is the cheesy bread, which is fine by me because it's great.
It's really good. And I'm looking forward to the layered meat pie and the bread, but especially the layered meat pie.
All right, next up is the Brewers Collection, which they have a new food item. Last year they didn't have any food, so this time they decided to break out a decorated gingerbread heart.
I don't know.
I'm not making this up, folks.
Nope. It seems very random at a beer, booth or kiosk. All I can
get
figure
to decorate yourself. I don't know.
I doubt it. All I can figure is maybe it's for children, since there's nothing else for children at this booth.
Here go Johnny. Here's a decorated gingerbread heart while I get some beers. All right, so for the brews, they dropped one, which I think they dropped that Citron beer, which is like a lemon tasting, really fake lemon tasting beer. But the two returning is a Radburger Zwickel Pilsner and Hackershore Hefeweizen Naturtrub. I don't know. It's the best I can do. The new one is the Schafferhofer Hefeweizen pomegranate beer.
That sounds interesting.
So that's the same brewery that does the popular with everyone, the grapefruit beer. It's the same one. That actually sounds. I'll try that one. I'll try it. Why not? So for me, looking forward from that booth is the decorated gingerbread art. No, I'm gonna try the pomegranate beer.
And for me, it's a big zero. That's a gluten unfriendly booth, so just stay away from gluten free. Next is Canada, and this year they only have 2 food items. They have the Canadian cheddar cheese soup served with a pretzel roll, and I've never had it because it's not gluten-free, and Brian's never had it because it's got bacon in it, but it's super popular, so I would have to say it's probably tasty. And also they have the Le Cellier wild mushroom beef filet mignon with truffle butter sauce. That is gluten-free, and that's one of my favorites if it's cooked right. Unfortunately, it's one of those, sometimes it's overcooked and tough, and sometimes it's cooked perfect. So you never know what you're going to get. That's the only downside. I think it's just hard when they're doing mass production like this to get steak cooked just right. But when it's cooked right, it's fantastic. Do you want to do the beverages?
Sure. So beverages, there's a new beverage. It's a beer, Moosehead Radler, which is a lager infused with grapefruit, grape, and lemon juices. That sounds interesting. I'm not a fan of Moosehead, but I'll definitely give that a shot. And then 2 remaining items that were there from last year, apple ice wine and a Fielding Estate Red Conception. I don't know.
Yeah, I would assume those are both wine. I know the ice wine's wine. I would assume that second is wine as well.
So for me, the only thing I can look forward to is the Moosehead Radler.
And for me, the Le Cellier steak, like I said, when it's good, it's really good. So the next up is the Cheese Studio, hosted by, I don't even know how to say that.
Boursin
Cheese. It's Boursin. And this is returning from a previous year. Yeah. Is it last year?
I don't know. No, it can't be from last year.
So this is an older one returning from maybe 2 years ago, because that sounds familiar to me. I think we've been there, so maybe from 2015. So food-wise, they've got a braised beef stroganoff with tiny egg noodles, wild mushroom, and garlic and fine herb cheese sauce. That is not gluten-free and it's not meat-free, so Brian won't be trying that one. Savory caramelized onion, Boursin garlic, fine herbs, cheese tart with cold arugula salad and aged balsamic.
That sounds tasty.
Cheese trio.
Totally. I don't know.
This is today's entertainment, is listening to us mispronounce things. Topped with Boursin garlic and fine herb cheese and orange apricot jam, smoked salmon pinwheel with, wow, this thing's really big, with Persian shallot and chive cheese and everything seasoning, and strawberry. That's got to be a separate thing. These must be run together. Strawberry macaroon can't be, well, maybe it is. And this is a strawberry macaroon, so this would be a huge offering if that's all actually on it, but we don't know. We're just going by the information that's online. That's pretty interesting. The macaroon's what interests me. I get all the cheeses, but then the macaroon, I don't know if that's a separate dessert or if that's really part of the cheese trio. We'll see. It probably is part of it, though, because there's usually not more than 3 food items per booth. So beverages?
Go for it.
Okay, you leave this for me. Leth Steinagrund Grunner Veltliner from Australia, Liberated Pinot Noir from California.
The other one's from Austria.
That's Austria. Misread that. And that's the only 2 drinks at the Cheese Studio. From here, I'm looking forward to absolutely nothing because it's all got gluten and I'm not a wine drinker.
For me, it's going to be the savory tart, I think. I like the tarts.
It sounds good.
Yeah. So next up is China. Let's go ahead and get out of the way. No Kung Fu Punch here. Kung Fu Punch has been there every year I can remember.
Every year. And it's there for both festivals. It's there for Flower and Garden and Food and Wine, and it is not there, and that's very sad.
We do have one new food item. First of all, let's cover what's there. Returning Beijing roasted duck bao bun with hoisin sauce. With the new item is a spicy chicken bao bun. And then we get returning black pepper shrimp with garlic noodles, which I like, and chicken pot stickers. I mean, it's your run-of-the-mill China food, I guess. Beverages, get a Tsingtao lager, and these are all returning. Ritzy lychee, that's good.
Yeah, it is good.
The Happy Peach, that's pretty good too. And the new drink is a Beijiu punch with Chinese Beijiu spirit, lychee, coconut, and pineapple juice.
Which actually sounds pretty good. I hope it's better than Kung Fu, since that's what it replaced.
Yeah. Oh, this is the first non-alcoholic drink I've seen on this list. It's actually
the
listed.
mango bubble tea with Assam black tea and milk. And I think from this list, I can't eat any of the food, but I will definitely be probably trying that new drink that replaced the Kung Fu Punch to see.
I'm looking forward to the black pepper shrimp. I always like it. I like it every year.
You do like that every year.
Yeah.
It looks
it's
good.
a nice, simple dish, but it's good.
When it's got noodles, it's a good size, usually, portion.
All right, what's up next?
The Chocolate Studio. This is one of my favorites. It moves around as to which booth it's in from year to year, but it returns every year, at least the last few years. The liquid nitro chocolate almond truffle with warm whiskey, caramel sauce, and that's gluten-free, and I can't speak highly enough. It's so good. You gotta, if you like anything chocolate or sweet, you've got to try it, because I'm not a huge dessert person, and I love it.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good. And then, that's the next one. Sweet dark chocolate raspberry torte with whipped cream and raspberry dust.
What exactly is raspberry dust? I don't know.
I was about to say, I guess we'll find out, but unless you get it, that's not gluten-free, the second one. In beverages, it's Justin Cabernet Sauvignon, Banfi Rosa Regale, Lee Linati. Oh, here we go. How would you say that?
I don't know.
Ricciato della Vapolessia. Sorry, that's probably very bad Italian.
So just to sum it up, there's 4 wines here.
He doesn't want to hear me murder the last one.
One's returning, which is the Justin Cabernet. The other 3 wines are new. Mm-hmm. So like I said at the beginning of the video, there's a lot of new stuff at this festival.
There really is.
So new booth, or actually, what are you looking forward to? I guess you already said the truffle.
The truffle.
For me,
that's for both of us, that chocolate truffle. And you can split one. It's a pretty good size. It's a pretty good size.
So next up is a new booth for this year.
He's excited
Coastal
about this.
Eats. Man, oh man. Let's see. First up is lump crab cake with Napa cabbage slaw with avocado lemongrass cream. Sounds interesting. Baked shrimp scampi dip. Seared scallops with roasted corn. And then for beverages, we have 2 wines, right? Yeah. Erath
Pinot Gris and Soder Planet Oregon Pinot Noir. And also nothing at this booth is gluten-free, which to me is surprising because seafood's pretty easy to make gluten-free. So I understand the lump crab cake that usually has gluten, but why the other 2? Well, that one has the sourdough baguette. One thing you can do is ask for a chef, and they will come out and tell you what in the item is not gluten-free, and you can opt to leave that off. Sometimes you have to wait a while, though, so that's your call, because it's not necessarily the people you see there cooking in the kiosk. Sometimes they have to page like a different chef to come over and talk to you. So if you're willing to wait, I may actually do that for the scallop, because I see no reason that should have gluten unless it's in one of the sauces, in which case I can just leave the sauce off.
Maybe we'll spend our first day and hit all the booths and do that. I don't know. Just go ahead, and that way we have it listed down and you can enjoy the rest of the festival. And you don't have to do that each time.
Yeah, so what are you looking forward to the most?
Lump crab cake and everything else on the booth.
That sounds good. And the next one's all year.
Craft beers. So this is, I guess, at the little weird Odyssey place, right?
We assume it's the Odyssey building. If you're familiar with World Showcase at all, if you come in from Spaceship Earth, it's to the left. And you can actually take a left before you get all the way to World Showcase and hit the Odyssey. And it's nice 80s retro look inside.
So it's all new food, all new beers here, I do believe. The food is kind of interesting because before it was like snacky type food. Like
this is more food.
Like nuts and pimento cheese and crackers, that kind of stuff. Pretzels maybe, I don't know. But this is food, yeah. Chilled Scotch egg wrapped in sausage with mustard sauce. That sounds pretty good if you eat meat. Zesty cheeseburger and cheddar cheese macaroni handwich. So I'm picturing
must be a sandwich.
Macaroni like fried maybe with a cheeseburger inside maybe. I don't know. Then
different.
This last one's kind of weird. L'Orange. That's how they spell it. L'Orange cotton candy. It's a mixture of lime and orange cotton candy. Does that go with beer?
No, that's,
or is that another
that's
one of
about
those?
For the
Here,
kids.
kids,
yes.
Mom and Dad are going to have some beers.
Yes, that's exactly what that is.
So beverages, again, we have the MIA Beer Company, 305 Golden Ale. That sounds interesting. I like Golden Ales. J Dub's Passion Wheat. Okay. Central 28 Trekker Beer Farmhouse Ale. And a Play Alenda Brewing Company Blonde Ale. So that sounds good too. Is there any more on the other side? Just to make sure. Oh, yes, there's more beers. Florida Beer Company, Passport 35 Triple Chocolate Milk Stout.
That sounds familiar. You're sure that's new?
It's new.
It seems like that's been at a festival.
Well, there's been milk stouts.
Oh, maybe
before.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Cigar City, and some of these breweries, of course, have been here. Florida Beer Company, I think, has Cigar City, of course. So Cigar City, Guadalajara, Citra, Pale Ale, Bright Horizon Sprite with it's non-alcoholic. Sprite. I was about to say, what are we doing Sprite with beer? So it's Bright Horizons, which is Sprite with multi-flavored boba pearls.
Yeah, so that's for kids probably again. Well, I mean, adults could drink it too, but... so what are you looking forward to the most? Because this is all has gluten, even the food. So
I'm looking forward to Beer Flight 1, Beer Flight 2.
You're not picking a favorite yet?
No,
too early?
Full reserve. Next up.
The next up is Earth Eats from the Chew, and this is new.
Well, it's kind of a combination of the food is from the Chew, and the beverages are kind of from, I wrote down here,
the
from
Wine and Dine Studio.
Yeah.
From last year.
Yeah, so they kind of did a
combo.
Yeah, combo, and they said, hey, we got a new booth.
Yeah, so they basically shrunk it and made a new.
Yeah, so it's all the same food, all the same drinks, except for what looks like one wine, or I don't know what that is. So.
Now, this is interesting to me because none of these are marked gluten-free, but two of these I'm pretty sure were marked gluten-free last year. I'll have to go back and look. So that's interesting. And I will say this is super early information, and we're just going by what's out there so far on the web.
Yeah.
So when you get there, be sure to double-check the passport, check they always have a menu posted outside. Make sure it's gluten-free. Just don't go by what we're saying.
So real quickly here, let's wrap up the food. Ricotta and zucchini ravioli, a grilled beef skewer with romaine, apricots, and feta cheese, peanut butter, and white chocolate mousse with a caramel drizzle.
And that last one I know I've had, so that's why I remember that some of this at least was gluten-free.
So beverages, we have Kurt Russell again, and we were wondering, I know last year, is that really Kurt Russell? Kurt Russell?
It's got to be because one of these is a Goldie,
that's right.
And he's married to a Goldie
So
Hawn.
these are two returning wines. Kurt Russell Goji wine Chardonnay, his Pinot, and then a new drink, which sounds interesting, Redstone Meadery Black Raspberry Mead. We had to look that up yesterday to see what exactly a mead is, and I really couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I think somewhere between a beer and wine,
and a cider, or a beer and a cider.
Yeah, beer and cider maybe.
Because remember it had fruit in it. Yeah.
So looking forward to, from there, really nothing for me. Maybe to try the mead.
Yeah, and for me, it depends on if any of this is gluten-free or not. I really believe that most likely the grilled beef skewer is, so if so, I might try that. And I don't think I would get the peanut butter and white chocolate mousse again. It was just okay. It didn't blow me away when I had it, so I don't think I would get it.
Next up, we have Farm Fresh, which is returning from last year. One new food item and one new beverage. So for the food item, crispy chicken with griddled cornbread with red eye gravy, which is coffee infused gravy, right? So that's new. Roasted beet salad with green beans, feta cheese, -8 vinaigrette. What are they taking away from the vinaigrette? 8 things, I guess.
-8.
And toasted walnuts, which is that's gluten free.
Yay!
Beverages, we have the Gumption Citrus Freak Hard Cider, which I know that's gluten free. That's I recognize the Gumption brewery
brand.
Yeah, and Woodchuck. So that's the new one. So that's a new beverage, and the rest are returning. Woodchuck Raspberry Hard Cider, Two Henry's Elderberry Cream Hard Cider, and Florida Orange Grove's Mango Mama Wine. I'm not really looking forward to much from there.
Yeah, and even though that roasted beet salad is gluten-free, I'm not a huge roasted beet person.
Yeah.
However, I might try it. Just like we said, there's so few gluten-free things overall. If you're there for a full week, you can kind of start running out of... Because we prefer to walk around the festival and eat as opposed to sitting down at like a sit-down restaurant. So I might end up trying it. We'll see.
Yeah. So we have a new booth coming up.
Flavors from the Fire. That sounds intriguing.
Yeah. So food-wise, I'm not sure what the theme of the Flavors from Fire is. Well, let's see.
I think it's roasted meats, maybe? No, I don't know. We'll see. Piggy wings, roasted pork wings with Korean barbecue sauce and sesame seeds. Yeah, it is mostly maybe meat-oriented. Smoked corned beef with warm, crispy potatoes, pickled onions, and blonde ale beer fondue. Sweet pancake with spicy chipotle chicken sausage, onion jam, and maple butter syrup. Chocolate picante, dark chocolate mousse with cayenne pepper, chili powder, and raspberry dust. There's the raspberry dust.
So you come here to get your meat fest on, right?
Basically, mostly. Sadly, none of this is gluten-free. And I can see why, like, when I read all of them, like, this one has beer fondue.
Sweet pancake.
Yeah, so they all have some type of gluten
What was
component.
in the first one?
Piggy wings.
Yeah, what was
probably gluten? The Korean barbecue sauce, because soy sauce sometimes has gluten. But also, do you want to do the beverages?
Beverages, looks like one beer and... Looks like one beer, one wine, and one cocktail, maybe.
Yeah.
So the beer, Orlando Brewery Smokin' Blackwater Porter. I wonder if that's another one of his bacon-flavored beers. I don't know.
Ravenswood Zinfandel from Napa Valley.
And here's a funny one.
This is the funny one.
Swine Brine. That's the name of the cocktail. It's featuring Evan Williams bourbon. The Evan Williams cracks me up because that's cheap.
An inexpensive bourbon. Yeah. We'll say that. But, well, the name's funny, too. Swine brine.
Yeah, give me a couple of swine brines.
That doesn't sound appealing.
And some piggy wings.
No.
So, looking forward from there, nothing. Well, yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
And you can't eat any of the food, so.
Nope, none of it. And I don't want a swine brine. So
France is up next. We have 2 new food items and 2 new drinks.
So there's the brand new is warm goat cheese pudding with spinach, and that is gluten-free, which I'm so happy about because a lot of times France doesn't have a lot of gluten-free offerings. They'll have like one dessert or something. Then returning is one of Brian's favorite. It's the escargot croissant with garlic and parsley, and he loves that.
Yep.
Loves it.
Yep.
And then they have the beef bourguignon. And then they have the creme brulee. This is new. Creme brulee a la confiture de framboise, I believe. It's creme brulee with house-made raspberry jam.
So that's gluten-free.
And that's gluten-free as well. Usually creme brulees are always check, of course, but they usually are. Mm-hmm. Beverages? You want me to do these?
Sure.
La Passion Martini Slush.
That's always popular.
It's very popular. It's vodka, Grey Goose, La Citron, cranberry, passion fruit juice. And I have had this, and if you like sweet, it's fantastic, but it is sweet. Like, it's definitely pushing the upper limit of sweet. They're the ones that are in those martini-looking glasses that you see everyone carrying around food and wine.
Oh, I was picturing that. Those push-up things.
No, it's not the push-up.
Oh,
the push-up's different. I actually don't see the push-up on here. But no, those are the martini-looking glasses.
We have 2 new wines.
Chardonnay. I have no idea how to say that. Bouchard. Ani and
Phils?
Sorry, guys. Then a Merlot and Cab blend. It's a Chateau Les Graves du Barou. And again, apologies for the pronunciation. Then returning is Saint Germain Sparkling Cure, which is a sparkling wine / mixed with the elderflower liqueur.
And then their beer, the Kronenberg Blanc 1664. For me, I'm looking forward to escargot.
And for me, I'm super excited. I'm really looking forward to that warm goat cheese pudding with spinach. Like Brian made a face because the idea of pudding, but I'm pretty sure that's savory, and I like savory.
Picturing a goat cheese pudding. I don't know.
But I think it's going to be a savory item.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. It's something different for sure. And the creme brulee, I don't know if I'll even try that. I'm just not a big sweet person.
So next booth up is Germany, which I'm representing here.
You got your shirt on.
We have one new food item, which you'll laugh about when we get to it, and one new beverage. So for the food, we have the Schnickennudeln, which is the pasta gratin with ham and cheese, roast bratwurst and a pretzel roll, apple strudel with vanilla sauce, and our favorite decorated gingerbread heart.
That's the new item.
Beverages, we have these are all returning except for one. Returning is Radburger Zwickel Pilsner, which is interesting because they're just serving that next door at the Brewers Collection. So I'm picturing Germany and the Brewers Collection right next to each other.
They're usually not right next to each other. There's a little space.
Selbach, Bert Kasterler, something Riesling. So it's a Riesling wine.
Riesling.
So this is the new drink, Riesling. Dr. Hayden Oppenheimer, something Riesling, Spotless. And then another Riesling, which is returning, Selbach Riesling Classic Dry. So for me, I'm not really looking forward to anything there.
And this is a gluten fest, so nothing for me.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that Germany can't step their game up with their booth.
Well, it's funny. I hear other podcasts talking about that because a lot of the food items you can actually buy at the quick service inside. If you don't know that, that's a tip. Where you see the German restaurant, the big buffet at the back, there's sort of a hidden quick service back there that's not very visible, and you can get a gluten-free roll for the bratwurst. So you can get the same bratwurst with a gluten-free roll. You just have to go back there to the quick service location.
Was that the last trip you got that?
No, it wasn't the last trip. It might have been last fall.
Okay, she loved it.
I loved it, and it was great. It was a really good
I just happened
roll.
standing in line to get a beer there because you could also get beers there because that cart usually outside is crazy. Whereas you go to the fast food place, it's in the hidden place. There's usually no line. So someone in front of me happened to ask for that gluten-free bun. So I came out and told her. She went and got it and loved it. What's next?
Next up is Greece. They've got a good returning item. They've got the loaded Greek nachos, which is pita chips, meatless sausage crumbles, and vegan tzatziki sauce.
Yeah. So that was a bunch of people loved that last year that they didn't think they would like because it's vegetarian food, but
a lot
it's
of people
really
said
good. Yeah, we loved it.
Vegan, and I couldn't eat it because of the pita chips, but Brian really liked it.
Yeah.
And then new this year is Taste of Greece, stuffed grape leaves with lemon dill sauce, grilled octopus, and feta cheese dipped with warm pita. And that sounds good. Spanakopita, which is returning.
Opa!
And then warm phyllo dough strudel with sweet vanilla custard, lemon honey syrup, and cinnamon.
So that's a new dessert.
And I believe that replaced the baklava. Did they have baklava there? No, wait. Nope. Baklava was in Morocco. Pardon me. Just scratch that. But let's talk about the beverages next.
Beverages looks like one new. I guess these are all wines, right? One new wine.
I believe these are all wines, and we do not speak Greek. So, Domaine Scaras Moscofilero. Sorry, doing the best I can. Domaine Sigalas. I don't know how to say that last one. Sorry. And then Argos Atlantis Red Blend, which is the new one this year. So for what are you looking forward to?
I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna do a foul here and do two items. I'm looking for the two items: the Greek nachos and the Taste of Greece, because I gotta get my octopus on.
And everything on here has gluten officially, but this is a place where I'm gonna ask because I believe that Taste of Greece would be gluten free without the pita, which is just on the side. Yep. So I'm going to see if that's gluten free because I too like grilled octopus. So if that's gluten free, I will definitely try that.
Let's see, we have Hawaii next. I noticed they dropped, so we got three new food items, four new food items. No, 3 new food items and 1 new drink. And I noticed they dropped the poke, so no more tuna poke here.
Brian likes the tuna poke.
I'm wondering if some people get sick. I don't know.
No.
So, returning item here is the Kula pork slider with sweet and sour Dole pineapple chutney and spicy mayonnaise.
And even though neither of us can eat that, me for gluten, him for meat, that is hugely popular. So that's something you should consider if you can eat it.
So new food items: grilled tuna tataki with seaweed salad and pickled cucumbers and wasabi cream. Another one is your teriyaki glazed spam, hash, and potatoes. Everyone wants some spam. And dessert is a passion fruit cheesecake with toasted macadamia nuts. Beverages. So the new beer is by the Maui Brew Company Bikini Blonde Lager. And the two returning items is Florida Orange Grove Sparkling Pineapple Wine and Mai Tai featuring Sammy's Beach Bar Rum. Which we had that before.
I don't know if that's the same Mai Tai. Do you think it is?
No, I remember. I think I
remember
the
the
Sammy's
rum?
Beach Bar Rum.
Because
I don't know.
think we cared for it that much.
So I'm looking forward to the grilled tuna.
And this all has gluten, so nothing for me. And I don't recall either of us liking that Mai Tai, so I doubt I would try that again.
It was
had
very sweet.
Too much OJ? Wasn't that the one that was like OJ overload? It tasted like that OJ from concentrate.
Yeah.
Just, no.
Next up, hops and barley. So these are all the same food items. Looks like they switched out most of the beers, and it's a combination of beer and wine. So the food items all returning: New England lobster roll, everyone's favorite; smoked beef brisket, pimento cheese, and freshly baked carrot cake and cream cheese icing.
So I'm going to make a comment about the smoked beef brisket. Please check behind me. It is not marked gluten-free, but in the past, if you got it without the griddle garlic toast, it was gluten-free. But always ask, because they could have changed it so that now it has a marinade or something that has gluten. So always ask, don't take my word for it. And it was really good, even without the toast.
Okay. Beverages. These are mainly all new beverages. So New Belgium Fat Tire White Ale. Anchor Brewing Liberty Ale, Orange Blossom Brewing Foxtail Cold Brew Coffee Pilsner. Ooh, that don't sound good.
We don't like coffee, just FYI. I know we're unusual, but...
And then for the wines, a Mer Soleil Reserve Chardonnay and a Etalon Paulines Cuvée Red Blend. For there, I'm looking forward to the lobster roll.
And the theme here is America. Everything is American, the wine and the beer.
Yeah.
And for me, I would say the brisket, but again, I'm going to double check that it's gluten-free before I order it. If it is, I would definitely try that again. So brand new, or no, actually it's new this year, but returning from 2009. Thank you. I can't read his handwriting. Is India.
So it must be an oldie but goodie.
Yes. This must have been a year we didn't go because neither of us remember. India being there. So the food is warm Indian bread with pickled garlic, mango salsa, and coriander pesto dips. So I assume that's kind of like a bread service, like naan, and it doesn't say naan, but I would assume it's naan and dips. Madras red curry with roasted cauliflower, baby carrots, chickpeas, and basmati rice, and that is gluten-free. Korma chicken with cucumber tomato salad, almonds, cashews, and warm naan bread. And pistachio cardamom bundt cake, with chocolate coconut mousse. And the only item I listed is the one I mentioned that's gluten-free, which is the Madras red curry. Beverages. We got Sulu Chenin Blanc. And let's see, a Sula Shiraz Kingfisher Lager, which I actually had to look up because I always thought Kingfisher was like English. I'm sorry but I looked it up. I guess it was from India. Well, there's a heavy English influence in India as well, and vice versa. A lot of Indian influence in England.
And another rare non-alcoholic drink, mango lassi. I mean, the rare about the non-alcoholic. It's not many non-alcoholic drinks. Not rare about the drink,
yeah.
Looking forward to here. Not really looking forward to much here, but I will definitely try one or two things here.
Well, you'll probably...
I'll try the bread service.
And I doubt you'll do that, so maybe the one I'm going to get to. You could let me try it first and see if it's good. You could always have a spoonful.
So next up is not really a booth. It's more of a kiosk. I guess we'll call it a kiosk. Like a permanent thing. It's the Intermissions Cafe. We actually like coming to this place.
It's in the festival center.
In the festival. Yeah, we always love to hit the festival center. But it's nice AC.
Really
it's
good
quiet.
AC. It's usually not crowded. You can walk right up to the counter and get something.
Seats and tables. It's always, we enjoy it, just hanging out there.
It's just a nice retreat. If it's really hot outside, it's a great spot.
So for food items here, you can generally get like, normal Epcot type food, wraps,
sandwiches,
wraps, that kind of stuff. Usually, but this year they don't list any beverages, which I find shocking because
I think that's wrong.
Usually they have several beers and several wines, and usually also they have one or two beers you can't find at the other places to kind of like draw you to the.
Usually this is the only place you can get the festival exclusive wines too.
Yeah, that's right.
They usually have a festival exclusive Chardonnay and Cabernet Sauvignon, and this is usually the only place you can get it by the glass.
So I think this list is just not correct.
Or just not complete. They may not have released the information.
So if you've never been to the festival center, I would suggest going. It's a little out of the way, of course, but hit it up and check it out because the seminars are fun there.
It's over between Ellen's Energy Adventure and Test Track. It's on that end.
You want to do Ireland? So that's coming up.
So Ireland's going to have a giant disappointment for returning people. The beloved Fisherman's Pie is gone. It's not on the list. It's one of Brian's favorites, and I know a lot of other people love it too.
Every year I have to have at least 2, maybe 3 or 4.
It's basically like a shepherd's pie, but it's all seafood.
Chock full of seafood.
Big pieces of seafood, like scallops and shrimp. And then they have mashed potatoes on the top. And so he's sad. So what they do have this year, the new item is roasted Irish sausage with Colcannon potatoes and onion gravy. Also new, warm Irish cheddar cheese and stout dip with Irish brown bread. And warm chocolate pudding with Irish cream liqueur custard. And the thing I'll say about the last item is, once again, has always been gluten-free, always. The last 2 years for sure, not marked gluten-free this year. So I don't know if that means they changed the recipe or if it's just not marked correctly. So stay tuned. There'll be updates and it may truly be gluten-free.
So I wonder if the warm Irish cheddar cheese with stout dip, is that like a fondue?
Sounds
even
like
though they're not saying fondue.
It sounds like a fondue.
Yeah, I'd like some fondue.
And you like that Irish brown bread too. I know you had that with the cheese plate one year.
So beverages, there's one new drink, which is a beer. So returning is a Bunratty Mead Honey Wine. The new drink is a Guinness Blonde American Lager, which is kind of funny because that's like grocery store beer.
Well, and also it's funny that it's American Lager at the Ireland.
Yeah, couldn't they think of something more unique? Anyway, and then a Twinings pumpkin chai. Sorry, tea frozen cocktail with caramel vodka.
No, not for me. I'm not a big chai fan. I know a lot of people are. Twinings pumpkin chai tea and caramel shake. That's non-alcoholic. Obviously, this is sponsored by Twinings. I mean, you can tell.
Next up is Islands.
What are you looking forward to there?
I'm going to try the fondue. Even they're not going to call it fondue. The warm Irish cheddar cheese and stout dip.
If they haven't changed the warm chocolate pudding to be gluten-filled and it's still truly gluten-free, I can't imagine it's changed because it's the same name. I will definitely get that. Once again, not a huge sweet person. That is so good. It's like those lava cakes where it looks like, even though it's called pudding, it looks like a cake on the outside and then there's warm chocolate on the inside. It's so good.
You can take the next one.
Next one, Islands of the Caribbean, and this is a return.
Yeah.
And they have for food Jamaican beef patty with mango salsa, mojo pork with black beans, cilantro rice, and pickled red onions, which is gluten-free. Quesito, puff pastry with sweetened cream cheese and guava sauce. So
all 3 food items are the same from last year.
And then they have for beverages, one new, it's Carib Lager. They also have returning Caribbean white sangria and frozen mojito. I will say we had the frozen mojito and it was very good, but it's very small. So again, I don't know that I'd try it again since it's not new.
Yeah.
If you don't know this already, the cocktails come in tiny, tiny little cups and they're about $10, give or take.
They're little sippy cups.
Yeah, very tiny. I mean, it truly is a sample. For $11 to $15, you can get a nice full-size cocktail somewhere else at Epcot, so it's definitely
Like a
not...
Joffrey's cart.
Right. The Joffrey's Cart has specialty cocktails just for the festival, as well as other cocktails, and they come in nice, at least 12 ounce, but maybe even bigger cups.
Yeah.
So bang for the buck wise, just keep that in mind. It's great if you've never had it, but if you've already had it, you might want to try something else.
So I'm not looking forward to anything there because I can't eat any of the food anyway.
I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to the mojo pork. That's one of those I very well may have, back to what we said, because they're so gluten-free. Few gluten-free things, but it didn't blow me away. It was surprisingly not very flavorful. I've been to Jamaica twice because my uncle used to live there, so I'm used to spicy, full-flavored Caribbean food. It was really bland. I don't know if that was just for the masses, but it just didn't really appeal to me.
All right, next up is Italy. So we have 3 new food items.
Brian's excited about this first one.
Yeah, crispy calamari. Yes, it's about time.
With spicy pomodoro sauce.
The next one, not going to pronounce that, but let's just go to the description.
Braised
T-bone lamb chops and potatoes with vidalia, onions, thyme, bay leaf, and lamb juice. Didn't you look that up last night? Lamb juice?
It's juice. It's juice.
Juice. Is that it? I thought you looked it up. What is that?
Well, usually juice is just the liquid that it was cooked in.
Oh.
Usually. But
And then the third item is absolute penne, which is vodka sauce with shrimp.
That sounds good for
interesting.
you.
So that's a new one. And then returning is cannoli.
And you like cannolis.
Yeah, but yeah. Beverages, these are all the same beverages. Pinot,
Grigio.
Chianti, Prosecco, Carbonello, Moscato, frozen margarita.
With limoncello and tequila.
Then there are 2 beers, the 2 Morettes, lager beer, and La Rosa double malt beer.
So for the drinks, since we just talked about those, I've had that frozen margarita with limoncello and tequila, and other than the fact that it's super, weak, it doesn't have much alcohol at all that you can taste. It's actually tasty. It's not super sweet, but it's sweet enough. It's actually refreshing and tasty. And theirs strangely comes in a slightly bigger cup than everybody else. It's not huge, but it's a little bit bigger than the normal sample size we just talked about. So if you're hot, it's one of those that's going to really be refreshing and light. And then I know what you're looking forward to.
Well, I'm going to do another foul. I'm looking forward to both the calamari and the vodka sauce with shrimp.
And unfortunately, this is another gluten fest. So
yeah.
I will be probably having the drink, and that's it.
So next up,
Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Wasabi. Why don't you do this? You're better at pronouncing Japanese.
So these are all, they replaced all the food items. These are all new. Wasabi shumai, steamed pork dumplings. Next one is a salmon BLT sushi roll, which I'm wondering, does that really have bacon in it? It probably does.
Maybe, yeah.
And then a teriyaki ginger pork, which if that has bacon in it, sadly, I'm going to have to skip
And
Japan.
That's so sad, because usually Japan's one of his favorites.
Yeah, and nothing's marked gluten-free here. And also all new beverages except for their Sapporo lager that's returning. So it looks like it's 1 cocktail and 2 sakis. So a palm pineapple sake cocktail. No, yeah, that's a cocktail.
Yeah,
palm
cocktail.
pineapple sake cocktail. Which I might try that. I do like the sake. Kara tamba. I can't do that. Dry
Karakuchi.
sake. Yeah. And then the other sake is a Yuki Kaj Snow Shadow Junmai sake. So I'll definitely try.
And then a Sapporo lager, which is returning.
Which is the beer. So I'm looking forward to. I can't eat any of the food. She can't eat any of the food. I'll try the cocktail and, of course, the 2 sakes.
And I'll try nothing. I'm not a sake person. So Light Lab is brand new. It's an interesting name, Light Lab. It's like L-I-G-H-T, not L-I-T-E.
And it's just beverages.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow, what interesting name. Sorry, guys, this is going to be kind of rough. T equals CC2, not making that up. Vanilla tonic water and cotton candy. It's non-alcoholic.
What's going on with the cotton candy this year?
I don't know. RGB citrus apple freeze non-alcoholic. Blue Spectrum, Blanc de Bleu, Cuvée, Mousse, I don't know, with boba pearls. Founders, and what's up with the boba pearls? They're everywhere. They came into Pandora, and now they're everywhere.
So the rest are beers. So it looks like I'm seeing 2 beer flights here. 2, 3 beer flights. Founders Brewing Company, Green Zebra Watermelon Goose Ale, or Goss Ale. That's not goose, that's Goss Ale.
Goose.
Elysian Brewing Space Dust IPA. Blue Point Brewing Company, Optical Illusion. 6 Point Brewing, Mad Scientist. Radian Flux, Play Alinda Brewing Company, Robot Not Red L, Left Hand Brewing Company, Polster Pilsner. So the theme here is
space.
Like space, yeah.
Yeah, I finally got it after
Alien,
reading it.
that kind of stuff. So I definitely do see they're probably going to have a beer flight 1, 2, because there's 6 beers here, right? Looks like it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Well, and that's something. If you haven't been in a couple of years,
yeah.
Last year they went from 4 beer flights to 3 beer flights across the board.
Yeah.
So brace yourself. And the cup sizes got smaller
Yeah.
for the beer samples for the flights.
So from that booth, I'm looking forward to, I guess, beer flight 1 and beer flight 2. And she can't have anything. Unless you want the cotton candy.
No, I will be passing.
So next up is Mexico. We have a ribeye taco, tequila chipotle shrimp, and these are all new items actually.
Everything there.
Yeah, everything's new. Cajeta, I think it's cajeta mousse served with cajeta sauce and white chocolate flakes. So that's a dessert, I guess. Beverages, prickly pear margarita.
That's interesting.
A classic pomegranate margarita. Returning is Mexican-style sangria, and then their beer, a Pacifico lager with floater. I wonder what's in the floater.
Tequila,
probably, I guess.
It just about have to be tequila.
So everything's new there except for the sangria.
Everything has gluten in the food, so we'll not be having any food here. How about you?
The only thing I could eat, well, except for the dessert, but I'm looking forward to the tequila chipotle shrimp. That sounds interesting.
Good. And then I will probably try both the prickly pear margarita as well as the classic pomegranate margarita, both of which are new.
I might get the lager with floater, depending on what's in the floater.
Depending on what's floating. So the next booth up is Morocco. And as soon as I can flip this paper over, we'll tell you what's going on there. There we go. So they have a kefta pocket.
Everything's the same from last year.
And that's with beef. Spicy hummus fries with cucumber. Chocolate baklava. So that's where the baklava was.
So the spicy hummus fries, I think, was new for last year, and that was a hit with a lot of people.
Yeah. And then beverages, they have all returning sangria, Casa Pale Lager, La Troy Domains white wine, and a mimosa royale.
I'm looking forward to the spicy hummus fries. Those are really good.
And this all has gluten, so I'm not eating here.
So next up is New Zealand. Looks like all the food is the same. Lamb meatball with spicy tomato chutney. Steamed green lip mussels. That's pretty good. Seared venison loin with wild mushroom masala sauce.
And then they have beverages.
2 new wines.
Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc. Returning Nobilio Icon Pinot Noir. And new frozen wine cocktail featuring Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc. So the same
So
wine.
Kim Crawford said, you know what? I'm not going to let Kurt Russell show me up. I got some wine skills too. So I'm looking forward to the steamed green lip mussels. Those really good.
Those look good. And this is another one that has nothing gluten-free. So Patagonia, this is one of my favorites. One of the items here is one of my favorites.
Yeah, there's only 2 food items here, and these are the same from last year.
Beef empanada and the grilled beef skewer with chimichurri sauce, and that is really good. I've liked it 2 years in a row now.
Beverages is the same from last year. I'll let you take that.
Verum Pinot Noir and Bodega Noemia de Patagonia, which is a Malbec.
Some bodega wine. So there's nothing I can eat there.
And I'm looking forward to that beef skewer. It's really, it's not the skewer, it's the chimichurri sauce. It's really, really good.
So the next thing listed is one of those another permanent places, a refreshment cool post, which is that the place with the
restrooms? They have the croissant donut, the cronut.
So they have the same spicy hot dog from last year.
Kimchi.
New beverage, because typically the permanent places have new beverages. A Baines Cape Mountain Whiskey and Frozen Coke.
Well, it's like a whiskey and Coke.
Yeah.
I mean, which I'm not into, but...
So that's a skip for me.
Yeah, that's a skip for me as well. I mean, it's all gluten. Well, and this says refreshment port also.
So I guess the refreshment cool post is different from the refreshment
And
port.
sorry, we don't know where the cool post is. Do you?
I'm trying to picture it. No.
No.
Maybe by test track?
I don't know. Don't take our word for it.
Yeah.
Look on your festival map. But the refreshment port's the one we were just talking about with the cronut. And so for food, this is all returning. They have the cronut, which they have year-round. So I don't know why they list that.
Yeah.
Fried chicken breast nuggets with Dole pineapple sweet and sour sauce and pineapple Dole Whip soft serve ice cream, which I think they also have year-round, don't they? The Dole Whip?
Oh, can't remember.
I'm not sure. And then beverages, they have pineapple Dole Whip soft serve ice cream with the Bacardi coconut rum and Dragonberry refresher featuring Bacardi Dragonberry rum.
Didn't you have that one?
I've had both of those,
okay.
and I didn't like either one.
Oh.
Go figure. I did not like the rum with the Dole Whip, which I know sounds crazy. It sounds like it'd be great together, but to me, the rum made it taste bitter. I'd rather have Dole Whip and have rum, but not together. I didn't like it.
So stop there for a cronut if you wanted to. Next up, Scotland. Looks like it's all the same stuff except for one beverage. We have a traditional Scottish lamb stew, fresh potato...
With neeps and tatties.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to read that because it's funny.
Fresh potato pancake with Scottish smoked salmon, and the Tipsy Laird, which is a whiskey-soaked cake with lemon cream and toasted oats. Beverages, they have the Citrus Thistle featuring Hendrick's Gin, and the new ale is a Belhaven Brewery Scottish ale.
And I cannot eat anything here. Again, nothing gluten-free.
I like the fresh potato pancake with the salmon. I know a lot of people call it cat food. I like it. It's tasty.
Well, no, you're thinking of when they had the salmon tartare.
Oh.
This one is not listed like that, so it might be just the
different?
pieces of salmon. Well, they've had it where it's just pieces of smoked salmon, but who knows? We'll see when we get there. So the next one is Spain, which is a booth returning from 2010. So it wasn't there last year, but it was there in 2010. I am so excited about this, not only because they have a gluten-free item, but also I love Spanish food, so I'm pretty excited. So do you want me to go through this?
Go for it.
They have a charcuterie in a cone with a selection of imported Spanish meats, cheeses, olives, and an herb vinaigrette. And I will be asking if, without the cone, if that's gluten-free, because it probably is. Traditional Spanish paella with shrimp, mussels, chicken, and crispy chorizo. That is gluten-free, and I will definitely be getting that. I love paella. Seafood salad with shrimp, bay scallops, and mussels, extra virgin olive oil, and other things that's gluten-free. Also, sweet olive oil cake with powdered sugar.
What is that?
And I have no idea. It's a dessert, obviously. And then for beverages, we have Rafael Pelacqua Bolo Gadello.
Don't know.
I assume a wine. Bodegas y Vinos Atazu. I'm assuming this is another wine. It's a Rosado. Casa Castillo Monastrell, which again, I've got to assume is a wine. Spanish wine is amazing. I had some when I was in Spain, and I'm not even a wine drinker, so it's probably good. What are you looking forward to there?
The seafood salad, I think, is the only thing I can have, really. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to... I'm going to do your Brian and
pick foul. 2
items. I'm looking forward to the paella, of course, and also the seafood salad. Those are both marked gluten-free. And like I said, I'm also going to see if I can get the charcuterie without the cone and see if that's gluten-free.
So next up is Thailand, which I think is returning from 2009 from my research.
We know it's returning. We're just not sure from what year.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting they're returning from 2009, 2010. It's like, I guess that was a magical time.
Must have been popular.
So food-wise, I think these are all new food items too, because I think that's why I made this note here. Marinated chicken with peanut sauce and stir-fried vegetables, seared shrimp and scallop cake with cold noodle salad, and a red-hot spicy Thai curry beef. And then for the beverages, looks like, I'm assuming that's I don't know what that is. That first one, is that wine or?
Yeah, that's a wine.
It's a
Helfrich.
Gür, I don't know what that is. It looks German to me.
It does look German.
And then a lager, a Singa lager, which was listed in 2009. So I think that's the only returning item from 2009. I guess for me, I'm looking forward to the seared shrimp and scallop cake.
And there's nothing that's gluten-free.
Yeah.
And that's fairly common with Asian food. There's a lot of soy sauce, which tends to have gluten.
Yeah.
So for Wine and Dine Studio, which is returning, they've got the pulled duck confit with cannelli bean ragu and Zinfandel reduction. And what are your little notes there?
So the pulled duck confit has been seen in different iterations throughout different festivals. Flower and Garden in France, and then in Food and Wine, it was actually showed up at the Greenhouse Guru.
And also, last year it was gluten-free, and it's not marked gluten-free this year. Seared scallops, truffled celery root puree, Brussels sprouts, wild mushrooms featuring Melissa's produce. And once again, that's not gluten-free, and I'm not sure why. Trio of artisan cheese.
These are all new cheeses.
It's a fromager. How do you say that? Fromager?
Fromage? I know it's fromage.
Fromager. Point Reyes Original Blue and Point Reyes Toma served with honey. And then there's the also new Artist Palette of Cheese and Wine. They had that before, but new
It's just new, yeah.
items. Trio of artisan cheese paired with Round Pond Estate Sauvignon Blanc, St. Francis Chardonnay, and Ricardo Malbec. Sorry.
It's my best guess.
Yes.
So beverages, mainly all new, not beers, wines, all new wines.
Round Pond Estate Sauvignon Blanc is the only returning. The rest of these are new. St. Francis Chardonnay, Ricardo Malbec, Eden Canyon Jolie Red Blend, and Meiomi Rosé. Doing the best I can, guys. And you want to talk about the additional? Oh, looking forward to?
Yeah. Probably the scallop. Wasn't there a scallop here? Yes. The seared scallops.
This is one of those I'm going to have to do some research because it looks like most of these could be gluten-free or could be modified. So I'll definitely be asking. If I can eat it, I would eat the scallop, but I need to check into why it's not marked.
And I'll definitely check out the cheeses. I love my cheese. So I guess lastly, we're wrapping this up with the main, the permanent spots. So the Black and Hans, which is the beer hut near the stage.
Beer hut.
What's that?
It is a beer hut.
What's that stage called?
It's where the Eat to the Beat concerts are.
Yeah.
The main stage.
So they returning is the Hops Pale Ale, which is by the what are they called? The Hanson.
The Hansons. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, we're not fans.
Yeah. So then all new drinks: frozen spiked tea with Orlando orange vodka, McKinsey Seasonal Reserve hard cider, Honor Warrior IPA, which I know they've had that before there. I mean during normal times because
they rotate their beers even during regular time.
J-Dub's Bell Cal Porter, Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale, Victory Golden Monkey. It's just interesting. So Golden Monkey is available
at Dawa.
At Dawa and other, I think maybe some resorts.
Dawa bars at the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. They're going to have it there. And then a Killer Whale Cream Ale. So that's cool. They're going to have Golden Monkey.
Yeah, that's one of Brian's favorites.
So Fife and Drum, looks like the only beverage they list is the same from previous year, is the Hanson Brothers. Again, they're getting into it. They're branching out in other beers. Festive El Saison. Then we get to the Joffrey carts. So the Joffrey carts always have festival drinks, and I think I made a note here. They moved some of the drinks around, which is kind of weird. I guess just to mix it up, meaning they were there last year. There's at different Joffrey carts this year.
Well, it makes sense because some of them are in very prominent areas that you pass frequently, whereas that one that's hiding behind Test Track, you hardly ever go by unless you're going to Test Track. So I can see why they would shuffle it.
There is one new one.
At the one at American Adventure, they have frozen strawberry lemon sunset, and I have had that. It's very sweet. It would be my comment on that. And that has Grey Goose vodka. They have in Canada Kahlua Teeny iced coffee, and again Grey Goose vodka and Kahlua, obviously. Disney Traders has a Passion Rita. This is the new one. It's frozen passion fruit thrills with juicy sweet flavors, a hint of tartness, and blended with 1800 tequila. So I will definitely have to try that one. And Future World East has a spiked chai latte. This is returning. And so it basically has Bailey's Irish Cream as the liqueur.
And also to mention at the Jeffrey's cart, you can get a double.
Yes, you can.
Double shot of the liqueur.
And the other nice thing about the Jeffrey's cart, like I said before, they actually give you a good size cup. It's not the little tiny size. And you get either one shot as standard, but if you want 2 shots, you can order it. And of course, there's an upcharge for that.
Probably overall the best value you're going to find.
I think so. I really think so. And the drinks are pretty good. The ones I've had, like I said, that strawberry and lemon's a little on the sweet side, but that tiki punch they have is good.
Which didn't return this year. It got replaced by the Passion Rita.
Well, maybe it'll be good.
Then we got a chocolate experience, which is returning. I don't really remember this, but
we're not sure where this is.
Yeah.
They just have beverages. They have Banfi Rosa Regale, which is new. They have returning Ghirardelli drinking chocolate, and then Lassiter Chemin de Fer. Don't know what that is.
Chemin de Fer?
Don't know. And we're not even sure where that is. The only place I could think of is if that's in the festival center, since they have that Ghirardelli chocolate display in there.
I don't know.
And that's another tip. They could change this year, but they usually hand out free Ghirardelli chocolate in the very back of the festival center. It's just one little piece, but it's free.
So that's the last booth. Thanks for hanging in with us on this tour around, the Food and Wine Festival. I know this is a little lengthy.
Yes.
But it's 35 booths. A lot of new stuff this year. Definitely, if you've been last year, you're wondering, should I go this year? I would highly recommend it because it's a lot of new stuff.
And I could be wrong, but I don't think they'll always have this many booths. If you would like to see a visual list of everything that we've talked about, I highly recommend going to the, down in our show notes, I will actually list all of this, but I'll also link to both the Disney food blog as well as Sarah's gluten-free, dairy-free Walt Disney World. So if you're on the gluten-free side, both of them list the gluten-free options. It's just that Sarah focuses in on the gluten-free side. So I'll put links to both of their websites in the show notes. Also, the main Disney website, I'm not going to link that. You can find that. They also have this listed. They just, for whatever reason, don't have the gluten-free items marked.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, both good sources of information.
Yep, definitely. And also, I would keep checking back later closer to the festival because, like I said, there's some things on here that I know for a fact were marked gluten-free. I've been calling it gluten-free, but it's actually gluten-friendly. That's Disney's term. It means they're not guaranteeing 100% that there's no cross-contamination.
The lawyers came and said, "Oh, stop saying that."
Yes. But it basically means it's made without gluten. They just don't guarantee there's no cross-contamination, I think, is their stance on it. So anyway, like he said, thanks for hanging in with us. I know this was a long, we're super excited. I can't wait to go.
Yeah.
And once we do go, we will, of course, do a review video as well of their experience in 2017. So thanks for watching. As always, we appreciate subscribes, likes, shares, and comments. Bye.